My name, as you probably already know, is Miss Lisa. I was a teacher before I started helping teachers. So I've been doing teaching for a long time. You don't know me though, the kind of teacher I am. I ask a lot of questions. I'm probably gonna ask you questions, and I don't want you to think that if I ask you a question that you're incorrect, because you might not be. I just want to know what you're thinking. So whether you're right or wrong, I'm gonna ask you a question. So, I want you to feel safe. You can make mistakes. I always say if you know all the answers, then you probably don't need to be in 5th grade. You should probably just go to 6th grade, right? You're here because you don't know and you're learning. There's a good chance in the next hour I'm going to make a mistake myself. And if you see me make a mistake, feel free to tell me, right? Everybody makes mistakes. I love mistakes because then we get to talk about them. Because you know what? If you make a mistake, there's probably a lot of other people in the room that are thinking the same thing. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to share your thinking, because that's when we all learn, and that's awesome. The other thing is, I don't let you raise your hand. I'm just going to call on you. I have your names on cards. Don't panic. If you don't know, it's okay, right? Let me say, where's Daniel? He's my friend. So say Daniel doesn't know. Daniel can say, I need to pass. Right? Doesn't know. And then I'm going to call on somebody else, and I might call on Corey. Where's Corey?
Oh, right here.
Corey, maybe he knows, and Corey says the answer. Daniel's not going to get off scot-free. Daniel, you're going to make sure you pay attention to Corey, because then I'm going to come back and say, Daniel, what did Corey say? Right? So it's okay to not know, but it's not okay to not listen and participate. I'm going to call on you to read. If you really don't want to read, and you're like, nah, that's all right. Once again, you can pass. So I don't want you to feel just because I call on you, I don't want you to feel any fear or anything anyway, right? We just want to learn math and have a good time. All right, so let's start. We're going to start with, what are we going to do today? All right, so where's Elijah?
Here.
Elijah, will you read our learning goals?
I can evaluate expressions that include addition, subtraction, and multiplication. I can write expressions that record calculations with numbers.
All right, so as we read that, you might be thinking, I have no idea what an expression is. And that's okay, because guess what? One of our vocabulary words that we're going to figure out, right? So you know we're going to be looking at addition, subtraction, and multiplication today, right? We're all familiar with those words. We've been doing that for a long time by the time we get to 5th grade. All right, so I need you to pull out your whiteboards and your markers. And all I want you to do is number 1, I just want you to write your answer to number 1, and then don't hold your boards up yet. Write your answer. You don't need your books open. Just write your answer to number 1. I'm only going to give you about 10 seconds, right? So go. All right, hold them up. Let's see. Oh, 7. Oh, lots of 7s. Everybody got 7. All right, we're off to a good start. All right, boards down. Erase. Number 2, same thing. I want you to write the answer to that. All right, let's see it. 15, 15, 15. Everybody got 15. All right, we're 2 for 2. All right, last one. This one looks a little bit different. I'm going to give you a little bit more time to think about this one. All right, it looks like everybody's done. Let's hold up. Oh boy, let's take a look around. I have 35, 19, 20. I have another 19, 35. Can they all be right?
No.
They can't all be right. So, let's investigate this, all right? I want you to put your whiteboards aside for a minute. We're going to come back about this because we're going to investigate some of these problems that look like this. And we're going to come back to number 3 because we're going to figure out what the right answer is, right? So we're going to come back to this. All right, so let's pull another person. Isaac, where's Isaac?
Right here.
Isaac, can you see from back there to read that?
Yes. In mathematics, people follow the rules to clarify the order of how to solve problems.
Part.
Part.
Do you want to move up?
Sure. Where can I read it? I'll show you right here.
Wherever you are comfortable.
Rules include pneumatics,
Numeric.
expressions, and strategize for calculation values of mnemonic expressions for a mathematical phrase that contains numbers and operations. When you evaluate a mnemonic expression, you can write the expression as a single mnemonic value.
Awesome, thank you, high five. Good job. That's a lot of words. And if you're like me, it's almost, do you know Charlie Brown? Have you ever watched Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
What's the teacher sound like? Wah, 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 right? That's kind of how I feel when I read a lot of words. Are you feeling that way? Like, what does that mean? So let's think about it. So expression, right? That's what we had on the last slide, or the first slide. And I said, we're going to think about what's an expression. Numeric. What do you think numeric might mean? What's it sound like? Like a number, right? So a numeric expression is a mathematical phrase that has numbers, right? And operations. What's a math operation? Give me an example. What's a math operation? What do you think? Just guess. It's okay if you don't know.
It's like a problem.
What's in a problem?
And the steps to get the answer.
Well, that's nice. Sometimes they don't give you the steps, though, right? And then, so that's the problem. If we had the steps.
You have to do the operation to find out what the steps are.
Right, so let's go back. These are expressions. They're numeric expressions. We see numbers. What else do we see? Plus sign, what else? Well, divided by would be an operation, right? Right. That's what an operation is. It's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Awesome. All right, so now we know what a numeric expression is. When we evaluate a numeric expression, we just write it as a single value. So that's, once again, you evaluated 4 plus 3. What was your single number you evaluated it to?
7.
That's all it means. Good? All right, so now we are going to analyze these two strategies. So what I want you to do is first, independently, I will let you talk to your partner, but first, all I want you to do is look at Owen. All right, so Owen and Chet evaluated that same expression. Independently look at Owen and see if you can figure out what Owen did. Talk to your partner. What do you think Owen did when he solved that expression? Let's talk about that. All right. Let's come back. Same thing for Chet. Think in your head by yourself. See what Chet did before you talk to your partner. All right. So let's come back. Did Owen and Chet solve the same problem?
Yeah.
Did they get the same answer?
No.
Can we have two answers for the same?
No.
No, we can't. So, how is what Owen did different from what Chet did? Remember, I'm just gonna call you. Let's see, Amelia. Where's Amelia? Amelia. How are they different?
Well, Chet times 4 times 3 and got 12, and he put 6 down and added them 6 plus 12 together and got 18.
Oh, we agree with what Amelia said?
Yes.
Do you know this symbol? This means I'm thinking what you're thinking. Right, that's when I do that. That's what that means. All right, Amelia, what did Owen do?
He added 6 plus 4 and got 10, and then times 10 by 3 and got 30.
Interesting. So this is kind of like that problem we just did, right? When we had 19 and 35 and we had different numbers. We have the same problem. So what we're going to do now, we want to figure out who's right. Owen or Chet. So on your whiteboard, I want you to rewrite this expression, but we're only going to use addition. So before you start, push pause. What do I mean? So I wrote the expression 5 times 3. How could I write that just with addition symbols?
5 plus 3.
Well, is 5 plus 3 the same as 5 times 3?
5 plus 3. 5
Wait a minute,
plus 5
pause. Is 5 times 3 the same as 5 plus 3?
Yes.
So what is 5 times 3?
15.
5, 10, 15. What's 5 plus 3?
8.
8.
It would be
So can I
5.
write 5 plus 3?
No.
Or could I write?
5
Oh. So 5, 10, 15. Could I write something else?
Yes. 5 plus 10.
Oh, interesting. 5 plus 10, right? That would work. But if we think about 5 times 3, do we have, like, what's this mean, 5 times 3?
5 3 times.
5 3 times, so 3 groups of 5. So yes, 5 plus 10 is 15. But what's the other way we can think about this?
You
We
can
have
do 5 threes.
Oh, 5 3s. 3 plus 3 plus 3. How many is that? Plus 3. So we have either 3 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 3. Do they both equal 15?
Yes.
So with that thinking, I want you to now rewrite on your whiteboard. You can work with your partner, right? That just with addition.
You want to throw it so
Write it above. Keep your old answer from the very first problem because we're going to go back to that. So either erase it and rewrite it or right next to it. But we're going to figure out if Owen's right or Chet's right.
I think.
I'm only going to give you a couple minutes. Aubrey, are you finished?
Yeah.
Can you come up? I'm going to give you the... Can you write your expression that you wrote? And you can write it, just write it right there. It's good. And then I want you to see what you wrote, see how it compares to what Aubrey did. Tell me about 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. I agree, but how did you get the 6s?
Because 6 was up there and I used that because that's the first thing in the problem, and 4 times 3 equals 12 and 6 times 2 equals 12, so I used 2 6s.
Alright, I agree. 6 plus 6 equals 12, and she did that. Did somebody do it a different way? No, that's okay. I'm gonna call on you. Tell me your name.
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. Oh, like Donnie Irish song, which you guys don't know. Aaliyah, would you go write what you wrote? Keep going. All right, Aaliyah, thank you. All right, so we have this, we got the same answer, right? So where is this 6 plus 6 in what Aaliyah did? How are they similar? I remember you, Leland.
3 plus 3 equals 6, and there's 4 3s, so they just added 2 3s up and got 6.
Oh, so these, right, could be the 2 6s. Awesome. So who was right?
That's
Chat.
Chet was right. All right. So we're going to go back to our very beginning. I want you to use this knowledge that you have. Let's try number 3 again. I'm only going to give you about a minute because I gotta be careful of time. Because we're going to play a game and we want to have time for the game. Game. All right, go ahead. Think about it. Use that same reasoning that we just figured out that Chet was correct. I want you to hold up your solutions now. 19. What happened to all my 35s?
We times that first.
Oh, so does the order matter?
Yes.
It does. Interesting. So, I'm a big believer in, I'm going to let you erase your first answer, right? Those of you that said 35, guess what? Your brain just grew because you just learned something. It's okay to make mistakes. I never let kids erase because all thinking is good thinking, but you can always revise your thinking, which we just did. Leland.
I knew it was 19, but I put 20 on accident.
Oh, you know what? That happens all the time. I told you, I'm sure I'm gonna make a mistake before we leave here. It happens. All right, but you caught your mistake. That right? If I would have told you, Leland, it's 19, you wouldn't learn much from that. You learn a lot when you catch your own mistakes. All right, so now we're going to look at Charlotte and Isaiah. Before we do this, do you notice anything different about There's a subtraction sign. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, but since we already know the routine, I want you to think about what we just learned. We learned order matters. That was with addition. Wonderful order matters with subtraction. So before you work with your partner, I want you to predict. I want you to take a look at both of them. Make a prediction who you think might be right, and it's okay if you get it wrong, right? Predictions are not always right. Make a prediction, and then we're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to rewrite only using addition and subtraction. We're getting rid of all the multiplication. Same thing, except now we have some subtraction. So instead of adding that last number in, the numeric expression, we're going to subtract it. We're going to walk around, and if you have questions, we'll be around to support you. So go ahead, make your prediction, Charlotte or Isaiah. You can talk to your partner about it first. You don't have to agree. One of you can pick Isaiah, one of you can pick Charlotte. Only going to give you about, that's okay, 3 minutes. I'm going to check my time. I got to check in with all the groups. So it's unanimous. Who's correct?
Charlotte.
Charlotte, aka Charlie, right? Charlotte is correct. All right? So does that same rule apply that we did with addition?
Yes.
So it seems like what comes first before addition or subtraction?
Times. Multiplication.
Multiplication. So now I want you to open your books because you're going to do a little bit of practice. Turn to page 44.
Can we erase it?
You can erase your boards, yes. 44.
Oh, she was at 43. You erase it? Where? Yeah, so we can erase it. I'm not you do it.
So listen, one of you, one partner is going to do 9. The other partner's going to do 10. Let me use a different color to make this better. So, I need your attention before you start. Eyes up here. One of you is going to do the purple check problems, and the other is going to do the green check problems. I don't care. You can decide who does what. What questions do you have?
2 plus 8 times 3.
All right. Think about our strategies, what we just learned, right? Order matters. Go ahead, I'm only going to give you 3 minutes. 3 minutes. All right, so raise your hand if you're purple. All right, so purple. I need purple. Who have I not called on yet that's purple? Will you go write up the purple answers on the board for me? And who's green? When she's done, take the marker from her and put the green ones up. All right?
This is not right.
Just have to write, you don't have to write everything out, just the single number answer is good. All right, and do 11. All right, you're up. So, if you did not get, tell me your name, sweetheart.
Madison.
What Madison got, Madison is correct. I want you to go back and check and see where you might have made a mistake. You put a line through it, yep. Awesome, thank you. All right, so as you checked in with your partner, is there any of these up here that you're like, we didn't get that, we need to talk about?
No. Well, yeah.
Which one? Number 10. So talk to me.
I thought I did 14 times 3.
You did 14 times 3. Tell me why you did that.
Because
So does that say 14 times 3? So what do you think?
3 times 2.
You think that maybe that she was right?
Yeah.
All right, other questions? Yes?
12.
12. So tell me your thinking. What don't you agree with?
I got 3 instead of 23.
You got 3 instead of 23. Tell me about that. Tell me what you did.
I times 4 times 7 and I got 28 minus 5 for 23.
28 minus 5, right? That's what she has. So we have 28. We're going to take away 5. So here's 5. Let's count. 28. If I take one away, what do you have?
27. 23.
23? What do you think? All right. It's game time. Ready? All right. So, Leland, since I know your name, you're going to help me. Come on up. You are going to work with your partner. You're going to make this little chart here. I'm going to put Leland. And then Miss Lisa. You're going to have a 10-sided die. We're going to roll it 3 times. I got a 1, a 3, and a 2. And I'm going to write 1, 3, 2. Leland, go ahead. Roll it 3 times. What you get? 3. 0. 3. Guess what? Now we're going to use 1 plus sign and 1 multiplication sign, and the goal is to make the biggest number. So you go first. You get 1 of each, 1 plus, 1 multiplication. Oh, it can't change the order in your numbers. Yeah, why were you doing that? I like that thinking though. Why'd you do that?
Because I know if I times anything by 0, it's 0.
Yeah, unfortunately, but go ahead. You gotta keep them in the order. That's a rule. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So you did 3 times 0, and then you added 3. Where'd you get that 3? How many times are you going to use that 3? I see it twice.
1, 3, 1, 3.
So can I use your pen? So you did this, and then you did that, right? So you did 3 times 0, you got 0. Then you had 0 plus what? 3. Do you have 2 3s? You're just trying to win. So what do you have? So when you play, your goal is to watch your partner, and if he wants to cheat like Leland, you're gonna have to tell him. Thank you. All right. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna say my 3 times 2 is 6. Right? So I have 7. Leland has 3. Who has the higher value?
You.
So I'm gonna get a little check mark above my name. You're gonna play 3 games. See who wins best out of 3. What questions do you have? Think about where you put your addition sign and where you put your multiplication sign.
I just put them in order. I just put the counters and then the plus.
Oh, so you just always use multiplication and then addition. Did anybody have a different strategy? Tell me your name.
Elijah.
Elijah, what did you do?
Well, I always had just about one number because I kept getting 1s and 0s.
So tell me about that. You don't look very happy about that. Why not? What's wrong with 1s and 0s?
When So on this one, I got 6, 8, 6, and 0.
So I see you added 6 and 8, and then you multiplied by 0. What happens when we multiply by 0?
It becomes 0.
It becomes 0. So let's look at this one. I love this one. He had 8, 6, and 0. Could we change that and get a better number? What do we think?
Yeah.
What do we think? Oh, your partner thinks so. What do you think?
We could do 8 times 6 and then add 0 and that would equal 48.
Oh, we could do 8 times 6. And what did you say that 8 times 6 gives us?
48.
48, and then add 0. Would you like that score
Your
better?
dots should not be moving, please, and thank you.
Oh, so does it matter where we put our multiplication sign?
Yes.
Where do you think the best place to put the multiplication sign might be?
In between the two biggest numbers.
What's your name? Brindley. Brindley, can you say that again?
In between the two biggest numbers.
Oh, in between the two biggest numbers. Where do you think the best place to put the multiplication sign might be?
In between the
8 and 6.
the tiniest.
The tiniest?
Well-
Is that what Brindley just said? What about
I'll teach them. The biggest.
the biggest, right? Because what happens if we put it between the biggest two numbers? Is multiplication gonna give us more than addition?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Thank you, partner, high five your partner, have a seat. That's the last thing we're gonna do is wrap this up, but I want you to turn to your partner before we do the reflection and tell them one thing you learned in this lesson today. Just one thing, or one thing you're not sure about, either one. You have 20 seconds. All right, who wants to share? You can share your thoughts or your partner's thoughts, it doesn't matter to me. Molly, what'd you say? What'd you talk about?
That we learned that we always have to do the multiplication and division first before we do subtraction.
Oh, she said multiplication to division. Did we work with division?
No.
So we have to, maybe that might be a good prediction, right? We'll have to come back and see if that holds true. But we definitely know what?
Then we have to do multiplication and subtraction.
We have to do multiplication before what?
Before adding or subtracting.
Before adding or subtracting. I wanted to say thank you for letting me come in and teach you today. If you're still working on your reflection, continue to do that. But I'm done. Just make sure you get your reflection done. And I'm hoping I can visit sometime again. So thank you very much. You guys were awesome.
What do we say to Miss Lisa, guys?
Thank you.